Alright, welcome to the channel, and today we'll be talking about the Symphonium Triton. And this is a collaboration between Symphonium and Subtonic. I've heard their Helios prior to this, and I really dug on those. Those had a really unique quality to their audio signature, though, where they had this really subwoofer level, or 2.1 is what I think I called it, stereo imaging and sound signature, and was really fantastic. And these ones are, I'd say these are almost like the little brother, little sister to those. These are the Tritons, and these were sent out as a demo tour unit. These are going on to the next person once I'm done here, and I believe I'm the second person for these specific ones. So yeah, so let's dive into the build and aesthetics of these. The quality of the materials used is pretty nice. I really dig on the finish and the metal that they used for these shells. The shells are a little bit on the bigger side, and they actually are shared with the Helios. So they actually have the same shells as the Helios, as I believe. So I could be wrong, correct me if I'm wrong. Very similar, if not the same shells. Overall quality of them is nice finish. They have this nice black with the white writing, which I think with the Helios I called it like that tuxedo quality, or very classic or classy kind of look to them. The size, like I said, is a little bit on the larger side. They do stick out quite a bit from my ears when I put them in, but it's not uncomfortable. Basically go in, and they do have like a pretty big space here where they stick out, but like I said, it's not overly uncomfortable. It's not anything that's a bother for me. I did listen with these for probably an hour to 2 hours, and no major uncomfort at all. So back to the build and quality of these. The cable itself is really nice silver. It's pretty good, actually. I'm really digging on it. It's a little bit on the short side, but for as far as, you know, going over in your pocket into a device in your pocket or carrying around, it's not a big deal. I think it's probably close to 1 meter long. It's nice, it feels nice. It's a quality cable, I think. Shells on these are nice. They, like I said, share the shell with the Helios, and they are nice metal. No major issues on the aesthetics and build of these. They're solid, they look nice. They're kind of a classic look to me, and I think that they do the job. So going into the sound signature of these, thing I found with them is the highs are definitely on the sparklier side, but they never really push too hard into that. Like they were just sparkly without being overly bright or piercing or anything in the sibilant range or anything like that. The lows were punchy, but didn't really have too much emphasis. Like they were there and they felt good, but I think coming off of my memory from the Helios, where that low end was really lovely and punchy, and I really dug on that. These are a little more tame, a little more even keeled across the board. I would say probably the biggest thing would be the highs, or have a little bit extra sparkle, but nothing that's egregious or anything like that. Upper mids and mids were quite nice. Nothing stood out as being wonk or anything like that. I enjoyed them. They're just like the even keel sound, right? So they have nothing really stood out as being bad. I'd say generally leans more towards the exceptional or the really good. I was just having a really good time listening with these. I'm out and about. I went to a coffee shop a couple times with them, and my main source with these is the iFi Griffin, and I've been really enjoying that combo. I didn't even have to use IE match, because there's something in these that's built in where it actually doesn't matter what source you're using. They use a proprietary thing that they've come up with where it will automatically be flat no matter which source you're using, and I think that's pretty cool. I think here, so it's called I'm reading it off my computer screen. It's called Infinite Linearity, featuring filtered linear attenuation tuning, flat technology, a proprietary circuit developed in-house with Subtonic. Helios will not be affected by impedance mismatch due to difference in source used. You'll be able to listen to the same unimpeded sound regardless of the device you are using. So I think that's pretty cool. Like I didn't really you don't have to worry about it. I had the Griffin in just regular mode and don't have to worry about it. Just go and listen, and it's fantastic. Some of the things that I did use these with, I did try it with gaming as well, so I can go into that real quick. The first thing I tried was some Super Meat Boy, which was lovely. It worked really well with that, and that's mostly due to the fact that you're just basically listening to a soundtrack while, you know, doing some platforming. Other games I played just real quick were Destiny 2, and with Destiny 2, I noticed that the highs were pretty sharp. They didn't hurt or anything like that, but they were definitely sharp and precise, really clean. It's like the gun sounds, the running through water or characters running around you kind of deal. It's really clean. I could see maybe these being pretty good for maybe a PvP person or someone more leaning towards wanting to be more competitive. They definitely sounded really nice for that. The low end was not where I would like it for gaming in those scenarios. I like the more emphasized the low end and mids just because I wanted that engagement, where these, they had that, but it wasn't quite as boomy as I would like for like a single player experience. The next game I played, which was Elden Ring, and these also same kind of deal as the Destiny 2. It sounded really good, but I felt like it was lacking some of that low end that I was getting from these, from say like just music or regular listening sessions, even like Super Meat Boy or something like that, but just music in general. I felt these did better in that regard as far as engagement with the low end, which is something I prefer. The overall sound though was just fine. It did the job, and they gamed just fantastically. That's not a big deal at all, especially if you want that more sparkly highs for your gaming, which I think translates into, if you like PvP stuff, these could be pretty good, or if you just want something more detail oriented, these did a pretty good job for that. So yeah, so it was pretty fun for gaming with these. I enjoyed it. It was a fun listening while gaming kind of endeavor. All right, so gaming done, and so let's dive into some live, pre-recorded live listening sessions, tracks. We'll do like 2 or 3 tracks and get on with the video and let everyone get back to their day. Starting with Aesop Rock. So I've been listening to a lot of his stuff again recently. I loved Aesop Rock, growing up and whatnot. So definitely one of my favorites. And this one I will start with will be Aesop Rock, Drums on the Wheel. So let's pop these in and we'll get it going. And I'll kind of, since we're using IEMs and you can't hear it in the music, I'll try and talk. Hopefully I won't get the weird IEM voice going that I usually get when I'm trying to not yell into the microphone while listening to music. So Drums on the Wheel. And so with this, like, it's interesting because with this one, like that, the bass is punchy, but I'm definitely feeling it's a more neutral sound. Like it's very clean and punchy, and that goes hand in hand with the as well with like even the highs and the mids. Like it's just very clean sounding. And this isn't the best track for like critical listening, but it's an enjoyable one and it's fun. And they keep up. They're plenty fast. So let's go to something else. Let's try more classic. Let's do classic for me in the sense of testing audio. Signal and Noise Go-Go Penguin. Starts pretty lovely, has that nice ring, and it's excellent. This sounds nice, like it sounds accurate. It sounds good, like the drums are kicked in and they sound really nice. I like the hi-hats, I like the kick drum, I like the strumming of the bass, the piano in the background. It just sounds really nice. It sounds just even-keeled and easy to get along with, and I can easily relax with this because, yeah, fantastic. And the piano has a really nice sound to it. It's not quite what I like when I hear, like, say, the Atriums from ZMF or some of the ZMF headphones, VO, VC, AOS, what have you. But like it's a little bit faster sounding. It doesn't linger quite as much, but it sounds really nice, and I dig on this. And then the hi-hats and stuff, they're real splashy, real lovely. Yeah, excellent sounding headphones. By headphones, I mean IEMs. Hopefully I'm not screaming. So let's go into another track. I want to do something more vocal forward and acoustic. The Peppery Man by Natalie Merchant. And then we'll do like a more vocal forward guitar type deal. So Peppery Man, Natalie Merchant. And the guitar kicks off, and then I'm not sure who the gentleman that's singing, I can't remember off the top of my head, like I'm blanking, but his gravelly voice, oh, so lovely. This is a good highlight for this IEM. It's really nice, and the mids are rich, and this can get a little bit on the sibilant-ish side, like where it's pushing towards it, this track, and these are handling it really well. That's like the twang of the guitar, and her voice will just slowly get higher where it's almost too bright, but it sounds lovely. And then they come in as a duo, and you get that gravel, and trombone. Yeah, see, this is really lovely. It's just nice balance. I think even keeled is the way to go. I think that's going to be what I'm going to call these. Even keeled and just easy to get along with. Not the most low end, but just nice. Just a nice listen. All right, so let's try another track. Let's do Susan Wong, Vincent. Oh, and then there's, I think, a violin or a cello maybe, or some kind of other string instrument. Bow, like a bow string instrument. And her voice is very forward, very lovely. And you can hear the pops of her lips, like the little bubble pops, I guess. It sounds really good. Really detailed. Her upper mids sound really nice with this track. Fantastic. Real even keel, nice listen. It's not offensive. It's very well behaved and well done. It sounds really lovely. Across all the different tracks I've tried, from some underground hip hop to pop to EDM, that kind of thing, they do well. They handle them all really well. I'd say they shine the most probably with acoustic, jazz, vocals, that kind of thing. Those have been the ones where they kind of bumped it up a little bit for me as far as like engagement wise, and I think that's to do with the low end. I guess I'm a bass head to that level. Low end on these is punchy and clean, but it's not a highlight, if that makes sense. It's more of like a thing that's there that sounds good and it's accurate, but it isn't something that's grabbing your attention. So if you like something with like more, I'd say mid to upper treble, upper mids to mids, upper mids and treble, that's more of the focus, with some really good detail, then these would be the ones for you. With that being said, thank you Symphonium and Subtonic. Cheers, and hope everyone has a good rest of their week. All right, have a good one.